Good evening, parents. Thank you for being here with us this evening, and thank you to all the family members as well. Thank you to all the brothers and sisters and cousins and uncles that are here as well. And I can remember going to my brothers and sisters' concerts sometimes, sitting through them and thinking, gosh, I have to go to these all the time. But really, now that I'm out of college and I think I'm a little more mature, I can appreciate it. So I would like to say hello to all the little brothers and sisters that are here with us this evening. And hopefully you all will have a chance to join the band here at Canterbury within a couple of years. Tonight what we are doing is more of an informant, which I like to call an informational performance, which gives you all, our wonderful parental supporters, an idea of what it is we do in the band here at Canterbury Woods, how we learn our instruments, and things that we do in class to make us better musicians, better team members within the band. The first thing that you will hear this evening are the 5th graders and the beginning 6th graders playing some very basic songs. We learn 3 notes for the first couple of weeks, and we take those 3 notes and we start to speed up the notes a little bit, changing between those notes, and then finally moving on to shorter notes and then moving within those shorter notes as well. So we will play 3 short tunes that will demonstrate this, and then following this we'll also do some very quick instrument demonstrations. But before we even get to that, we actually need to learn how these instruments that we play make sound. So the first section that I'd like to demonstrate for you all this evening is the flute section. The flutes have all kinds of buttons, and one thing difficult with the flute is that their tone is made from blowing simply straight over this tone pole on what we call their head joint. and it's almost like blowing over a Coke bottle or something of that nature. So flutes, if you can take your head joints off. Clarinet, saxophones, go ahead and have your barrels and flutes ready, by the way. So one of the things that we do at the beginning of the year is kind of play some fun little games and make some pretty funny sounding notes on just our head joints, because if we can get very nice full sounds coming out of the head joints, hopefully it's a little easier when we put the flute together and start learning all of the different buttons. So let's do some silence together. Ready? 1 and 2 and ready. And then that basic sound will then apply to the sounds that we get out of the flute. The next set of instruments that we'd like to demonstrate are the oboe, and the clarinet, and the saxophone. Can we hold up our mouthpieces so everybody can see your reeds? On the end of that is a little sliver of wood about that big, and that reed makes all of the noise that provides the sound coming out of the instrument. It's the vibration of that little piece of wood. So I tell the clarinet, saxophone, oboe players that they need to be able to produce a solid sound on just this before they can start worrying about getting notes out of the instrument. Unfortunately, it's not the most pleasant sound. And those of you that have had clarinet and saxophone players in the band last year can remember this. But it is very important to be able to produce a sound first on the mouthpiece before we put it on the instrument. You'll see what I'm saying here. Saxophones, oboes, clarinets all together. 1 and 2 and ready and go. I don't get paid enough to do what I do because I tell them that they should be able to do that in class 10 times a day, and we do that. And I guarantee you there's points in the beginning of the year where probably a good 30 minutes. That might be all you hear. So I'm coming out of the band room. I'm sure the 5th and 6th grade teachers that are above the band room love me. The next group that we'd like to introduce to you are the brass instruments. Brass players, can you hold your mouthpieces up, please? The mouthpiece of a brass instrument is similar in that the vibrations on that little piece of metal then create the vibrations in the trumpet, the trombone, French horn, and tuba that produce a bigger sound. In essence, the brass instrument itself is almost like the amplifier for the mouthpiece that would be the guitar or the bass or anything of that nature. We're going to buzz a couple quick notes on our mouthpiece for you so you can hear what that would sound like. All brass players together, ready? 1 and 2 and ready and buzz. Very nice. So then we take a simple hot cross buns on our mouthpiece, learn the fingering on the instrument, and then it's amplified for it. The last section of the band is the percussion section sitting in the very back. And I say percussion because we learn 2 sets of instruments. We learn both snare pad or snare drum, and we talk a lot about technique. And then we also learn the mallets or the bells, which is similar to the xylophone and glockenspiel, which gives them a chance to learn how to read notes and also play more in unison with the band. So we start the first part of the year off on the bells and then transfer over to the snare pad. Let's go ahead now and put this all back together. The next sets of songs you will hear introduce half notes, which are shorter sections of notes, and quarter notes. Again, we start using our tongues more often as well to produce the sounds that are coming out of our instruments. Just so short, I thought I'd just move right on to the next one. Keep going. Here's 16, 17, 18. graders. The majority of these students have been playing since 5th grade. Here in Fairfax County, 5th graders can sign up for band, and then 6th graders technically considered an advanced band student if you've been playing for those 2 years. One of the first things that we do at the beginning of the year is start to learn the notes that are kind of in between those first 5 notes. So if you were to imagine a piano and think of all the white and black keys on the piano, in the beginning of the year, we really only learn 5 or 6 of those keys. And then in 6th grade, we start to talk about all those keys in the middle. And that's when clarinet players, saxophone players start using all kinds of weird fingering. Brass players are starting to also move into some fingering they're a little less aware of. So what we do is we put that into an exercise that we call F stretches that covers all of those notes in between. Since the 6th graders have been sitting for a little bit, we're going to go ahead and do a quick warm-up with that. Very accomplished bassoon player. She will be here for another 3 weeks, and then she'll be moving on to Woodson High School and will be student teaching as well over there. But we are very happy to have her here, and I'd like to introduce her to the podium to conduct our next tune, Metal Leo Problem. So if you all can Before I forget, I would like to make a quick thank you. Is Miss Johnson here tonight? Hiding somewhere in the back. Well, Grant, when you can you thank your mom when you get home this evening? Because she provided me with those fantastic Canterbury Woods 6th grade class t-shirts, and I had a shirt and tie all packed up in the car ready for this evening. And it was too nice of a gift, so I'm going to have to support this tonight. So I would like to say thank you. Differently, you know, the white and the black thing is very nice sometimes for performances, but I figured tonight would make it a little bit more informal. I like to at least still kind of promote that team aspect of things, and so with the green or the yellow and the jeans, I figured at least we look uniform and more comfortable, especially for those that are performing for the first time this evening. The 6th graders will now continue on with their portion of the program. They're going to play a piece for you entitled African Folk Trilogy, which, on a side note, I gave them to challenge them a little bit because it's not one of those pieces where we just go from the beginning. You can put the metronome click on and say, okay, ready to go, and play from the end. There's a lot of different things in that with the trilogy. There are 3 different sections, each with their own separate tempos. So that's been a nice break from the things that we normally talk about in band. It allows us to take one piece of music and put different styles within that one piece. So this is African Folk Trilogy. Please enjoy. strike the candle for the next 4 minutes.
Bye.